as we get 5 lights. And away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's see, it's so slippery off the line. Who's got the better jaggle? We got a Haas in the wall on the right side. I think that's AJ Baker losing the back end, but Chuck's managed to hold the lead coming into the first corner. Chuckles had a lightning start, jumping his teammate Ginge into third. We've got quite a few changes further back. No major incidents as far as I can see. Nobody spun, nobody got massive damage. AJ Baker got away with that back end loss coming out, but it is Chuck who takes the lead. But looking at Chuck, he's all over the back of Paul Jones Jr. in the AlphaTauri. Is he going to try and make a lunge up the inside? I think he thinks better of it, and wisely so, because it's so difficult to overtake around here and easy to lock up. We've got a few changes of position further down. Cameron Poulter struggling. We've got a lot of cars ghosted. They're 3 wide coming into the hairpin. This can only end in disaster, or it could end in absolutely nothing because everyone's ghosting. We've got Prof and Royal Rumble going side by side here. Prof making a move on Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble struggling somewhat on the exit, going down that straight, and that is a nice move from the Aston Martin, who maybe just doesn't like these conditions. It does separate the men from the boys, as they say. It's a very difficult conditions to go, as we got a Williams going all out of shape back there. I think that was Tommy, and we got Prodigy rounded in the wall. Is he out? No, I think he's still going, but he has done damage to his front wing, and reversing in the wall, that might do him damage on the rear wing as well. Don't want to do that. Close together. Danny running very close to the back of Tommy. The Sheet gets himself a corner cutting penalty in 3 laps. That's quite impressive going, especially in the rain, because the game was more lenient in the rain. I don't think Chuckle's going to want to let Ginge past and play the team game here. Meanwhile, up ahead of them, Paul is catching Chuck ever so slightly for the lead, and that is Prodigy round. And what is he doing? He has gone around and sat in the wall, and that has caused a virtual safety car. Zaki's made a bit of a mistake though, because I think he's dropped back a few tenths into the clutches of Prof. There is a yellow flag, and David Benson has retired from the race, and that will inevitably cause a safety car. No surprises there. He is definitely out the race, and rather suitable he's in a Williams, because he has had a few crashes and caused safety cars, which has changed the outcomes of races. So, you know, being in a Williams, quite appropriate. We shall now rename him Nicholas Latifi. I'm sure he won't mind. But the question is, pit, or are they going to stay out? Chuck, he's going to pit. He's going to pit. Will Paul Jones follow him? He certainly will. Ginge is going to stay out. He's going to take the gamble and stay. Chuckle's going to come in. Bugatti Sloven staying out. He's going to go for it. Aki is going to stay out as well. We've also got Prof staying out. Tiedeman's going to stay out to the back of the field, and they're going to be in so much traffic as Sheet and Chuck go side by side. Who's got the position? I think Chuck's got it. Amazing race. The safety car has definitely thrown a curveball in there, as it always does. Call it fair, call it unfair, whatever you like. I have my own opinions on that. I think it's rather unfair, but it certainly throws an interesting element into the mix. Ginge leaving it very late indeed. How late is he going to leave it? He's still going through the last corner. Is he going to go? Not yet, not yet, not yet. He's not going yet. He's going to leave it to the absolute last second, and he certainly does. And I think Bugatti Sloven has called him on the bounce. There's a few battles further back. We're going to be a few wide. We've got the Williams and the Alpine going side by side. The Alpine of Danny up the inside of Tommy. Is there going to be contact a little bit? We've got an Aston Martin going a bit wide. That is Prof further back, but he managed just to hold it. A Williams going wide. The Haas is struggling. Of Tiedemann, Prof is round. There's a Ferrari of Flea dropping down as well. Tommy's got up and down too. But I think other than that, no particular contact or anything bad that we saw. Sheik gets himself another time penalty. That is a shame, but it's been a good restart from Chuck, who sees himself into 8th position. There's a bit of contact between him and who was that? Tommy. It looked like he was weaving very dangerously or very late, possibly causing that, but we couldn't see exactly. Has that caused Chuck any damage? Because that could be key. He's dropped back behind GFO. Once again, Chuckle's had a great restart, up into 10th. Paul's really struggled. He's stayed down in 15th. He is really struggling to make any moves right now. Chuckle really the big winner out of that, managing to gain quite a few positions as we see Sheet and AJ coming together. I did not see what happened there, but Sheet and AJ have come to blows, and AJ Baker has come off far worse. He is in the wall. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that one. GFO gets past Tommy further up, so hopefully he didn't get damaged for that earlier contact. He goes at the inside of the Williams. That is not a place you normally make a move, but he was feeling very brave and very confident there. The Williams obviously going very slow indeed. Still all over the back of Tommy here in the Williams. Remember what happened last time he tried to go for an overtake? It did not end so well, but he got away with it. Is he going to be able to make a move this time? He loses the back end coming out. Allow Chuckle to have a run on him. It certainly is, you know. He's not close enough to be side by side though. Right, we see Sheet and AJ once again going side by side. They came to contact once before. Are they going to do it again? They certainly are. Sheet bumps AJ into the wall, and that, I'm sure, is going to end up in the steward's room this evening, because that is two collisions where it looks like Sheet has just driven AJ into the wall. I'm sure we'll... And that's why I say I don't think pitting was the right idea, but Bugatti's had a little bit of an off. He's sideways under the tunnel on. That is gutting for the Alpine driver. He's got wing damage and all, and he is tumbling down the order. Very strong podium, but don't discount Tiedemann as well, just behind. However, we may get safety cars, we may get drama, we may get changing conditions. Who knows? Or maybe these wets that the guys pitted on might last to the end. Who knows? As Chuck goes around the outside of Tom, he's found his move, he's got the run on him. Later on the brakes, more grip, and that is a very nice move indeed. And he's definitely holding everyone up. As we see, is that Chuckle having a move on Tommy? He couldn't quite make it up the inside into turn one, but fair play giving it a go. And he's going to get the exit on him. No, he's not, because he's going to lose the back end. But GFO does get past Danny into that corner, and that possibly is going to allow Chuck to have a nice run on the Alpine. Look at that. He's going to duck out the slipstream, but it's just so difficult to do. Can he make a move? No, he's going to back out the Alpine of Danny. Chuckle does make a move on Tommy into the hairpin. He's sent one up the inside. He's got loads more grip. And past the Williams he go. Will the Williams come back at him? No, decides better of it. And next will be Paul to see if he can make a move. And I'll tell you what, he's going to get a good run on the Williams here. Is Paul going to send it up the inside? He might just do that, you know. He goes at the inside. The Williams turns in anyway, regardless of whether he's there. And that is, not Paul back down once again. Unfortunately, Tommy trying to drive like there is nobody around him. And it just doesn't work when somebody is up the inside of you in the pit lane. Sheet gets himself yet another time penalty, and I mean, 12 seconds of time penalties. The only driver to actually get one. That's 4 track limits penalties, 3 warnings each. I have to question what corners he's cutting. He must be doing it deliberately, surely. Than Tommy was. Paul, however, not going to disagree. He's going to go at the inside of the Williams. He's going to be late on the brakes, and that is a fantastic to be brave. He had to be committed, and he has made that stick nicely. It was aggressive, but it had to be. Absolutely fantastic from Paul, and he's cleared him, because look at the gap, 5.5 seconds. He was losing time hand over fist to his rivals. He's given up the ghost. Also, Sheet has retired. What has happened to Sheet? We've missed that, but he has caused a crash, and that has caused another safety car. Unbelievable. And that, once again, has thrown a spanner in the works. Sheet has been all over the place yet again in this race. He's been causing so many time penalties, and he's had quite a few comings together with AJ, which I'm sure will be in the stewards, and now he's caused a safety car, which has, well, changed the course of this race, really. This has played into Ginger, Naki's and Prof's hands, really. They're going to pit, no doubt. They are all going to pit. Back in hindsight, a big misjudgment, but so easily could have worked in their favour. And Ginge once again leaving it to the very last minute until he goes. He is going to do it around the last corner as well, and away the McLaren goes, and it's been a pretty good restart from the House of Tiedemann and also Prof as well. But you've also got Chuck, who's gone down the inside of Prof. He's forced Prof off the track, but he's made the move, and that is Chuck up into 4th. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. GFO also trying to make moves. Paul has dropped back down a little bit. Oh, Chuck's lost the back on the exit, but Prof has gone round. Prof has lost the back as well, and he's in the wall and dropping down positions left, right and centre, and that's re-given Chuck position back up, and he's had a really good run on Tiedemann in the Haas. Chuckle's also trying to get involved. It's going to be 3 into this left-hander. Who's going to hold it? I think the Red Bull is going to have the inside line now for the right-hander, and that gives him the advantage, and it certainly does. But no, the Haas of Tiedemann is still there and up the inside, and now he's going to run Chuck out of room, and that is going to allow Chuckle up the inside of his brother, who's now jumped him. Can he make a move on Tiedemann? He is up the inside into the left-hander. They're going to go side by side. There's contact, and they're running wide. And they're still side by side under the over the bridge. Apologies. They go. Who has the position? It is Chuckle for now, and Chuck is going to be fuming, and he has not come out fair so well on that. But here he goes. Is he going to get a run on Tiedemann now? Because Tiedemann loses the back end a little bit. He certainly is. He's going to go up the inside later on the brakes. And can he make that move stick this time? Yes, he can. Just squeezing the Haas a little bit. And that needed to be done. But unfortunately, he has lost out to his brother, who is now going to go chasing after Aki, who has had a great restart and is well within a second of Ginge. And running very, very strongly indeed, it has to be said. Nicely, but off he goes to try and chase down the leaders. Chuck struggling a bit. Well, Chuck is struggling a lot because he's lost the back end and he's dropping down the order. And back behind even Paul he goes. And right now, and he nearly loses it into the back of Paul to go. And there he gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting and into the wall. And Paul is just losing the back end a bit, but he's managed to hold on to it. Paul really struggling this evening. Very well indeed. We're going to jump back down because we've got a bit of drama going back on. Royal Rumble, Bugatti and Paul all going side by side. There's a bit of contact there, but nothing too bad. The Alfa Romeo really struggling for a grip, and that's allowing Bugatti and Paul to be all over the back of him. Bugatti is going side by side. He's going up the inside of the Alfa Romeo, but it will be the outside for the next corner. He brakes later. He cuts across, just about leaves room for the Alfa Romeo. I thought he hadn't for a minute, and he's got the inside line for the next right-hander, and the Alfa Romeo of Royal has just dropped it into the wall. Perhaps trying to brake a bit too late. The pressure of being side by side easily done, and that's allowed Paul up into 8th, and now he's all over the back of Bugatti, trying to gain another position, trying to salvage what he can from this race. Chuck is also right behind, trying to salvage and overtake. Through they go. We're just going to watch with Paul, because he is pushing the Alfa Romeo Alpine, along, and perhaps pushing him a little bit too much into the wall. We couldn't see from that angle whether there was contact. It certainly looked like Paul gave him a little bit of a nudge into the wall. Well, you see, Paul and Chuck trading places. Chuck has made a move. They're all losing positions. They're losing their back end. It's very, very difficult to put the power down. They're having a good old battle here. Paul's taking a very wide sweeping line to try and get the pace going on the straight, losing the back end once again, but he is going to be side by side with Chuck. Paul, I think, is going to have the position going into the corner. He certainly is. And down into 7th place he goes. Once I think is helping the Alfa Romeo stay ahead. We do have a spinner. That is Bugatti Sloven, who once again has gone round, and that has caused a safety car. Unbelievable. No way, Jose. None of us want to see a safety car. It's got to be Prof. Chuck will get himself another drive-through penalty. Yeah, Chuck has gone onto the intermediate tyres. There you have it, Royal Rumble. No surprise, he has decided to call it quits. Let's see how Chuck manages, shall we? He's going to have very cold tyres now, so he's going to have no grip, and yeah, there it is. No grip. Perhaps a couple of positions. Oh, look at that. Just needs to get those tyres warmed up. If you can get them warmed up, then maybe okay. Wouldn't be massively surprised if we see... Chuck has gone in the wall and put lost a bit, well, a fair chunk of his front wing, and I think that just tells you what tyres you need to be on in second. Can he try and get a jump on him? Well, it looks like Ginger might have gone. He certainly has, and it's caught Aki napping. And I tell you what, Chuckle is all over the back of Aki here. Aki could be in trouble. We got Chuck, who's losing positions further back, no surprise. But we've also got an Alfa Romeo of GFO going up the inside of Tiedemann. He's made a move up, but Tiedeman's going to come back around the outside. The Alfa Romeo and the Haas losing the back end. And AJ Baker, the Haas teammate, is now looking to take advantage of that. Can he make a move? AJ Baker around the outside. He's going to get a track limits penalty for that, though, and that might have cost him big time. He hasn't made the move yet, but they are going to be side by side. The two Haas boys. Who's got the ascendancy? It is Tiedemann currently. AJ Baker will try and outbrake him down the inside. He certainly does. There is room for two cars. He can't make the move, and Tiedemann manages to hold on to that. That's very good defending. Bugatti makes a move past Prof. There's just enough room for an Aston Martin around the outside, and he keeps that position for now. But the Alpine looking to make a move around the outside, and what did I say? Warmer tyres, because he's been pushing for the last half of that lap. And oh, he's gone in way too deep as Bugatti. Could that allow Prof back in? No, I think he's managed to retain it, and that's ideal. Still, Avaki as Ginge rounds the final corner. We are now on to the final lap of this Grand Prix, and it is all to play for. Ginge looks like he's going to extend his championship lead on to second. He has fought valiantly to hold off Chuckle, who's given it everything, but just cannot find a way past. He is pushing the AlphaTauri through this last sector. I cannot keep my eyes off of him. I'm not sure if somebody unspun, but it looks like it is going to be Ginge who is going to round the final corner. He is going to win round 5 in Singapore and extend his championship lead. Aki is going to finish a brilliant second place. Chuckle is going to crash across the line on purpose and finish third. Great result for him in the end. GFO, absolutely fantastic recovery. Up 15 positions into 4th place. Tiedemann in 5th. Paul will gain a position thanks to the penalty of AJ Baker, as will Prof in 6th and 7th. AJ dropping down to 8th. Bugatti in 9th. Tommy doing a nice little 360 across the line. Paul will get fastest lap. That is something for him. But there you have it. There's confirmation of the results. Ginge extends his championship lead with yet another victory. 4 out of 5 races now he's won. Aki with a fantastic first podium of the season in 2nd. Chuckle recovering nicely to 3rd. GFO with a storming drive to 4th. And Tiedemann with a brilliant 5th position.